In case you haven't heard, Autel is releasing a newer Evo 2 Pro called the V2. How much better is this V2? Why is Autel releasing a V2 not even 1 year after customers started receiving the V1? This is the statement that Autel released. Now, Autel also has a new CEO. They fired their old CEO and they went with a new guy. This guy used to work for Flare, and Flare is one of the largest thermal camera makers, probably the best thermal camera makers around. So this guy is supposedly no scrub. He's supposed to know what he's doing. And this is the statement that he released, saying that he wants to be transparent. However, this is what Autel is doing. This drone, the Evo 2 series, the Pro, which I have the 6K, they also make an 8K version. Both drones basically are the same. The only difference is the camera. As a matter of fact, you can interchange the cameras between the 8K, the 6K, and the thermal camera. So it's basically the same drone. The problem is, in case you guys haven't heard, there is a sensor shortage, and it's going on even with Tesla, that they've decided to discontinue one of their models that they were supposed to be making because of this sensor shortage. The sensor in here apparently is now really difficult to get. They can't source it, or they can't get it in time to continue producing these models. So now they have to switch to a different sensor. This new sensor that they're switching to means that there's going to be incompatibility issues. Now, in case you haven't heard, Autel just recently, a month or two ago, announced that they'll be producing a smart controller. Not just any smart controller, a powerful, fast, 2000 bright nit, 7.2 inch tablet size, ultra bright package smart controller. These controllers were supposed to be shipped already, but apparently due to the sensor shortage, these controllers can't even get to dealers yet. So Autel made the decision, the tough decision, look, we can't get the sensors for the smart controller anymore. We can't get the sensors for the Evo 2 anymore. And it hasn't even been a year since they started producing this and shipping it out. We're gonna scrap the Evo 2. Yes, it's going to be discontinued. So if you own this drone right now, your drone will soon be discontinued. And I mean really soon to be discontinued, because I've spoken to a dealer or two, and they've said that the new model, the version 2, has already started being shipped to them, which means, yes, this is going to be discontinued by the time you blink. So if you own one of these bad boys already, what does this mean for you? And yes, because I own it too. So let's talk about the differences first, because that's what it really boils down to. What's going to be the primary difference between the version 1 and the version 2? The only thing that's going to be really improved between the V1 and the V2 is the range. Autel's CEO said, look, we're here, we're going to be sourcing these new chips and putting in these new chips, which I imagine are a little bit more powerful. We might as well tweak the signal and make the signal stronger so the drone can fly further and have less interference. Now, that's a big deal. That's a thing. Everybody likes range. Everybody likes distance. Now, in terms of the cameras, they're going to be using the exact same camera. So the same camera that you have on your version 1 is the same camera on the version 2. Same thing with the batteries. The same batteries that you have on your version 1 is the exact same batteries on the version 2. It's basically just a chip swap. And changing the chip means that there's going to be incompatibility issues. What's going to be incompatible? The same chips that are compatible with this have to go in the controller for them to work together. So if the chip is short here, it's also short in the smart controller, so they can't get their hands on either. And that's why they haven't started shipping the new smart controller. So what Autel has decided to do is make a limited amount of smart controllers for the version 1. I love flying this drone, and I would like to have the new smart controller. But if it's sold out before I can get my hands on it, I will live without it. To me, it's not really a new drone release. It's just Autel dealing with this chip shortage and coming up with a solution. It's not something they planned to do or wanted to do. As a result, it's pretty much the same drone. Flying this compared to the V2 is pretty much going to be the same thing. Am I jumping on the version 2 right away? What are my plans? Discontinued or not, I could still get batteries, I could still get motors, I could still get arms, I could still get the body, I could still get the camera. The only thing I won't be able to get is the chip. But in case of a crash, as long as my chip is good, what's the problem in fixing or warrantying this drone, right? I doubt that I will have a massive crash. This drone has so many sensors around it, and I haven't had a total wreck except for when I first started flying drones in 2016. So what are the odds with all the safety features on here and the experience that I have flying? I seriously doubt that I will damage the chip inside of here. So Autel can always replace any other part, as the body, the cameras, and everything else will be the same, found in the V2, fix my drone, and send it back to me in case I have any kind of warranty issues. So I'm not worried about warranty, and neither should you. I haven't had any signal issues. As a matter of fact, I found this just as good, or some cases a little better than OcuSync 2. I haven't compared it to OcuSync 3, that's a different story. On top of that, I bought mine from B&H. I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you don't know, when you buy stuff from B&H and it goes on sale within the first 30 days, you can still contact B&H and they will refund you the difference of the sale price if it's within that 30 days. And that's pretty cool. And that's what I did. I went into B&H and they gave me back the credit in difference from my original price to the sale price. So this drone with the rugged bundle actually costed me $1,200 and something bucks. Now with the new V2 drones, I doubt they're going to go on sale anytime soon. So to give up this for a discounted price that I got it for, to go pay a lot more money for the V2 just to get the extra range, which I don't really need, it's not going to happen. Especially if I can get my hands on that V1 smart controller, I'll be all set. Now, if I was getting a different camera, that might be a different story. It is what it is at this particular point in time. I am happy that the CEO came out and told us this, instead of making us purchase products and then find out this won't work with that, this doesn't work with this, there's incompatibility with this and that, like some other manufacturers do. I don't want to call any names. So my only hope right now is that I can get my hands on one of those V1 smart controllers so I can pair this up and continue doing my work and my business, because this is my workhorse. I sold my Mavic 2 Pro and I sold my Phantom 4 Pro V2 to purchase this drone to do my jobs with it. Speaking of jobs, I've got a job that I need to do right now. If you're in the market for one of these new Evo 2 drones, it's definitely worth waiting for the new V2 series. That's a no-brainer. And if you're within that 30-day return window, like you just purchased one, it's about time you could still make that trip back and return it. I'm just saying, right? Save the stock for guys like us. Become a Patreon, guys. Big benefits to Patreon. Get direct access to me. Any questions? I'm right here on Patreon. Support this channel and there's benefits. Last Mini 2 went all the way to the UK. With that being said, guys, I will catch you in the next one.